Jose was 35 years old. His spermiogram revealed a shortage of sperm with a significant lack of motility. When I saw him, he referred having been suffering from severe fatigue for the past 7 years, which had begun after a steady overexertion. The fatigue predominated by the end of the day and was manifested in the form of weakness felt at the waist and with heaviness, even edema, in the legs. After his mother's pregnancy and during his delivery process, because the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck, he had suffered from fetal anoxia. This might explain why he couldn't stand anyone to touch either his neck or his navel. I'd like you now to remember what's been explained about body memory in the introduction video. This male felt warm in the trunk, but his hands and feet were always cold. In his case, I thought about the possibility of what I call compartmental pathologies, that is, a blockage of the energies either leaving or entering the trunk, which made me consider quite a few points. I started a standard treatment for infertility, but already on the second visit, because of such waist and leg fatigue, which in addition came with infertility problems, guided by the idea of supplying his daimai, I punctured its creative point, gallbladder 26. I would like to remind the fact that a daimai deficiency, which is a yang energy coming from the periphery, might bring on yin stagnation symptoms, and of course, in his case, I was thinking about the leg edema. He came back the following week explaining that he had really felt well, that he was more energetic, but also more relaxed. In addition, he was surprised to find that not only his legs felt lighter, but also that his hands and feet had suddenly warmed up. I still practiced 10 more sessions to treat his Zhang Fui imbalances. Then a new spermiogram was performed, and when he went to check for the results, the nurses came out to congratulate him on the results. Again, we can think that daimai, which is one of the creative power extraordinary vessels of the trunk, not only had improved the number of sperms, but its yang qi had stimulated the mobility of a yin, internal, downwards, substances. In any case, to me, although having been stitched only 2 times, the best acupoints feedback of the whole treatment had been clearly gallbladder 26. Uriol, 44 years old man, came referred by a friend because since 3 months he had found him in low moods. When we talked, he told me that this state was recurrent in him, often caused by overload. At the time, Uriol had finished his 2nd degree. His psychic symptoms were apathy, drowsiness, and sadness. Uriol had been the 4th of 5 siblings. At home, his father was always working to get the family ahead, but he was a blaming type. The mother was barely functional. She did things she had to do and nothing else. This man had a low self-esteem, both at an archetypically feminine and masculine levels. He used to withhold affective expression, mainly at a verbal level, and he used to find it difficult to expose himself in public as well. Such background drove me towards the possibility of an alteration in his extraordinary vessels. I began carrying out 2 sessions using Ren Mai points, but this proved to be unsuccessful. In the third session, I punctured gallbladder 26, the creative point of DMI. Although in his case there were other several diagnosis possibilities, what drew me to DMI was especially that he was a very scattered type. And as we know, DMI holds and ties the rest of the meridians to give them directionality. There is the capacity of concentrating and going straight forward when pursuing a goal. The following week, he came back much quite encouraged. I have organized a dinner at home with friends. I have offered to be the president of the neighborhood, community, and even I confronted the headmistress of my children's school because of a disagreement. Well, to deal with other issues, I did a total of 17 sessions, during which I scored gallbladder 26 on 2 more occasions, after which I discharged him.